What's up, guys? It's Migs with Market Open, and let's go ahead and do today's market recap. Also, check out my sweet new glasses. I don't really have to wear glasses. Just my eyes have been straining literally from staring at this screen for so long. But I mean, I guess this is what it takes. Just looking at charts all day. So let's go ahead and do the recap. My first trade I took today was on RIOT. I was actually expecting a red day in the market, but as you can see on here, we've actually came back up above, closed the gap, and kept headed higher. So I definitely did not see that coming. But I knew that RIOT was going to actually make a comeback, or not make a comeback, but I knew it was actually going to keep heading down because they just had some bad news here on Friday. Monday the market was closed, and then I just expected a continuation on RIOT for this Monday. And I actually did make a good trade on it. It's just I didn't realize the profits, and to be honest, I was definitely a little greedy, and that's something that I've definitely have been having a problem with, because if you guys can go back and actually look back through some of my recaps, you'll actually hear me say, you know, I had the profits, but I didn't take them. I think that is probably the biggest emotion that I'm having problems with right now, currently. And there might be some other inner workings that, you know, that are kind of driving me to be a little bit like that. I'm trying to be a little bit more patient with the trades to be able to realize some more of those profits. But it's really a fine line in between the two of being patient and making more money, and just plain out being greedy. So I'm trying to figure that out now. But at least I didn't lose money on the trade. So this morning, RIOT, like I said, continuation. It pulled up. Usually you'll either see me do an ORB, a pullback buy if I'm heading higher or lower, or basically this is just a breakdown or a reversal, you could call it. So it pulled up. It came back to the 9 and VWAP just kind of bouncing here. And I decided to go short under, I believe, 1055. Yeah, under 1055. So basically right here in this area. So if it breaks below this, my stop was actually going to be here. And I was expecting it to keep going lower. My stop was about 24 cents away or so. Yeah, so it was about 24 cents away. I decided just to go with an even number. Went with 500 shares. So as you can see, this candle right here broke through. And I was actually down here. I was probably up somewhere around $400 or so. So looking back on it, I was up 4 times my risk, at least. Like, at least up 4 times my risk. I should have taken a partial down here, but I was expecting it to just kind of keep accelerating. The back of my mind, I was thinking, okay, well, if it's gonna keep doing this, I'm gonna try to keep it until around 950, 955 or so, and then just sell my partial and then keep the rest, and then just ride it out. But as you can see on here, very next candle it actually bounced, went up above 10, actually came back up and shot all the way to my stop at 1080. As it came back down, I saw it starting to hold the 9, and let's see, where's RIOT at? Right here. I got rid of it at 1046 or 1021. Where was I? Probably holding somewhere around here. 1021. So I got rid of it in this candle here. I saw the 9 holding and it was crossing VWAP, so I decided to get out of it. So I was up $400 in less than 10 minutes. And then I ended up with $30 on RIOT. This is what I mean by being a little greedy and you know, not realizing my profits. But like I said earlier, the balance between that and being patient. So since it climbed up and over, I know RIOT was being a little sketchy. It was kind of hopping up and down, so I decided to get out of it. But I obviously made the right move. As you can see, RIOT is now at 1226. So. Now the next trade I took was on X, and I took this on, I believe I took this on the 5-minute. I took this here on the 5-minute. Like I said earlier, I take ORB, pullback buys, or reversals. So right here over the highs, over 45.35, I got filled in at 45.40 with my stop at the second candle. I always say that. My stop is here at the second candle. And so I bought 125 shares, risking $100. And I ended up selling it at 46.61. So up here. So I actually ended up making the right move during this time. The market, let's see here. What time was that at? The market was actually starting to turn around, so it kind of sketched me out. I was up over the amount that I was risking, so I went ahead and took the profit. I was up $151. I was only risking $1, so I got my 1.5 to 1. And hold on, let's see here. At 10.18, what was the market doing at 10.18? So right here. So it was making a lower high. So I knew that it was making a lower high, and it's probably not, most likely during that time I was thinking it was not going to come back up because it had already closed the gap for the day. And so I was thinking, okay, well, let me get out of this before it actually completely starts tanking. Ended up making the right decision. The market actually did end up going lower. It broke low of day, but to my surprise, it actually shot back up. So now I did end up getting out near the top, and I actually did end up making the right decision. As you can see on here, we're actually nowhere near those highs. The market did come back, but steel is actually not making a comeback. And then about the same time, I took that trade on CMC. So the reason why I took CMC and X around the same time is because there was a tariff put on steel, I believe, last Friday. And I didn't trade it at all, but all the steel companies were just surging. And I think they were up like 17-something%. So as you can see here on Friday, went from 24.25 all the way up to 26.20. So X and CMC is not your typical company that just rips. But with the tariff, it definitely made it one of those go-to plays. So I was watching it for a continuation today. It gave me a perfect ORB pattern, and I got out near the top. I took a little bit less. This actually read it was like over 100. I think it was maybe like 110, 111 or so. When I clicked the button, it actually just went down real fast, and I got filled at $84. So better than, I guess, getting filled down here anywhere else. But I was trying to at least get my 1-to-1 on that. So that was CMC and X. And then the next trade I took, let's see here. So CMC X. Oh, yeah. So VXX. So like I mentioned earlier, I thought the market was actually not going to come back. It was just going to head lower for the rest of the day. But to my surprise, I was wrong. So I took a long position on VXX, which is the inverse of the SPY. Probably somewhere, I want to say probably somewhere in these two candles right here. So either 10:30, no, actually, at 9:57. So somewhere right here. Yep, so right here in this candle, which is right here. Yep, so right here. As it was coming down, and I actually ended up getting kicked out of it. I actually ended up going long 200 shares. I ended up getting kicked out of it. Let's see here. 43.20. So I went long here at 10.22. 10.22. Yep, so here I actually ended up getting out. I basically took like $1 stop on that. Actually, no, excuse me, 50-cent stop on that because I had 200 shares, so I was only willing to risk $100. So as you can see, it actually ended up climbing. Oh, wait, actually, no. Let me go back. It actually ended up going higher, and then it started falling again. So it just basically just formed a lower high. I connected the tops here, and then the next trade was actually I went long on VXX again because it was making a lower high still, so it was going to still keep going lower. Let's see here. I went long at 10:30, so right around here, which is right here in this candle. So it made the high, it made a lower high, and then right here within this candle, I was thinking, okay, now we're gonna start heading lower, make a lower high, and then just keep tanking, right? So I actually went long 300 shares on VXX, and I actually ended up getting kicked out again, basically. So instead of, let's see here, I think I went long, what, at 10:30? Ended up going long here. It actually did end up coming back, and then as soon as it broke this trend line here, I was out of it because I made a trend line on the SPY and here, and I expect it to be on a downtrend, and by definition, for it to be on a downtrend, it needs to be below the trend line. So I went ahead and drew the trend line, and if it broke above, I actually ended up getting out right here. So somewhere around here. 1050. Oh wait, no. Long. 1106. So right here. Yep. So I actually got out as it broke the trend line here because I expected it to keep downtrending. If it broke above the trend line, then obviously I was wrong and made the right decision on here. I actually only ended up losing like 30-40 bucks on it. So the SPY actually ended up going back to the gap close, and it's actually now starting to trend higher. So I did make the right decision on that as well. You know, can't win all of them. It was my only loser for the day, but I took 2 losses on it, and after that, I'm not able to trade it again. I try to keep myself to 2 losses on a certain stock, and then after that, I'm done because you're not going to be in the right state of mind to be able to make the right decision. So now the next trade was a little bit of a scalp. I couldn't help it. Honestly, it set up so perfectly. MT was actually supposed to be a long. So MT was actually a continuation play here over Friday's play. So what I actually ended up doing is I saw when the market was actually headed lower. Always, you'll hear me say, when it rains, it pours. So that means if the market's heading lower, most of the other stocks are actually going to be heading lower as well. I saw these 3 big red candles, a pullback to the 9, and it was a reverse hammer. So typically my entry would be here. The next candle make a new low is my entry. I actually ended up getting in 1,000 shares with my stop right here at 35.77, but I wasn't really willing to risk it. It was kind of a spare the moment. Like it was a little bit of FOMO. I'll be honest, it was a little bit of FOMO. But I wasn't gonna let it go against me very much. So I went ahead and got in short at 35.65, got filled, and it started playing around, and I wanted it to just tank. I just wanted it to just go and just not look back. But this is actually originally supposed to be a continuation on a long play, so I knew I wasn't gonna hold my stop, and if it didn't go my way right away, I was just gonna get out. So I believe basically next candle I got out. So MT, yeah, 2 minutes later I got out. Ended up making 38 bucks. Not a big deal. I think it was just kind of the principle. It's just if it didn't really go my way, and with this kind of pattern, this is my go-to. It's called a bear flag. So the pole is straight down. It pulls back to the 9. Next candle make a new low on a short is your entry. Stop over the high of that candle, and then you just kind of watch it fade. But since it was supposed to be a long position, I just wasn't really trying to chance it, and I just got out. So as you can see on here, it actually did end up working, but was that my plan originally? No, it wasn't. So I just took the 40 bucks and ran. So ended up the day up $179. Not really. I mean, I'm green on 4 out of the 5 trades I took. I got out during the right times. I mean, it's good. I did make the right plays. Just the one mistake that I did end up making that was totally my fault, and you know, you have to take responsibility for that, is 100% being greedy on RIOT and not taking it at least a partial. I could have at least taken a partial on RIOT when I was up $400 in, you know, a couple of minutes. So that's my only regret for the day. I typically only have one, unless I have a massive red day, then you know how that goes. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below. Also, if this does make sense to you, write in the comment section, I understand. All right. And then also, like I say in every video, make sure to join our Facebook. group. It's completely free. I actually put out all of these that are actually on my watch list. I put them out beforehand so you guys can take advantage of them and profit off of them. Completely free. Don't charge you guys anything. It's just a group to have a bunch of like-minded people to be able to share information and different ideas so we can all kind of benefit from each other. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Peace.